Did you know the Miami Grand Prix is actually held in a parking lot? The track is 5.412 kilometers long with 57 laps, totaling over 308 kilometers of racing. The track record is a 1 minute 26.814 held by Max Verstappen in 2023. The first Grand Prix was held just back in 2022, so it is a recent addition to the calendar. Over the past few years that we've had the Miami Grand Prix, it's been relatively small winning margins with an average of 5.594 seconds. There's also yet to be a repeat pole sitter at Miami. Will that trend continue? Let me know your predictions in the comments below. The past winners, of course, have been Max Verstappen in 2022 and 2023, but 2024 we saw the breakout of Lando Norris and McLaren, bringing home the first win of the season and the start to what would be a really interesting 2024 season. This track does have a few opportunities for overtaking, but they are all quite tricky. Starting out in turn 1, it's a relatively heavy braking zone after a short DRS section. It's typically the best spot due to medium braking after that DRS with a decently tight hairpin. It's not an exactly easy pass though, because the inside of turn 1 turns into the outside of turn 2. Over the years, we've seen several overtakes that you think were done after turn 1, but next thing you know, the other driver comes back in turn 2 and takes the position back. Turn 11 is another decent spot for overtaking. It is the second DRS zone on the track, and it's another strong opportunity for overtaking because it's a longer straight than the run down to turn 1 is. The slight S's before the DRS zone can make it a little difficult for the cars to follow, but they make up for it with the DRS zone. The braking zone is also into a slow and tight chicane, so that helps things as well. Overtaking can be difficult there though, because the chicane is a bit too tight and two cars really can't fit into that corner together. Turn 17 should be the best spot for overtaking, but honestly it's not that great. Leading up to turn 17 is the longest straight with DRS, but the tight chicane before the straight slows the cars down just too much and creates too big of a gap to be made in the DRS zone. Unfortunately, this generation of cars is just too bulky and too awkward for that chicane to work. And unfortunately, with it being in a parking lot and near a highway overpass, they can't really change that section too much. That leads nicely into the biggest challenges faced by the drivers, and the first one is that the fact that the track is in the parking lot. The location just restricts the layout and it creates the awkward chicane before the longest straight, which really completely destroys any chance of overtaking in that area. Another challenge faced by the drivers is that it is a temporary circuit, of course. Because it is temporary, there's high track evolution, which changes grip levels for the drivers on an almost lap by lap basis. And also, it's still technically a street circuit. While it's not maybe the most traditional street circuit, it is still a street circuit that is fast, flowy, and has walls in close proximity. While the Miami Grand Prix hasn't been on the calendar for too long, there are still some interesting moments and facts that we can take a look into. One was in 2023 when Max Verstappen won from 9th on the grid, and he beat Perez on that day when he was leading from first, and that really kind of led to the proper downfall of Sergio Perez, even more than what we were seeing before, but that was really the beginning of the end for Perez. I think similar to the Las Vegas Grand Prix, the Miami Grand Prix is really more spectacle than anything. It attracts many sponsors and many famous people, and it doesn't really lead to that good of racing, unfortunately. One positive of the Miami weekend is that it typically is a sprint weekend, so fans get to see more proper racing for the whole weekend. Interestingly enough as well, Miami has never been won from pole. With a season that has been dominated for the most part by wins from pole, will the streak continue or will it not? Whether you like the Miami Grand Prix or not, the circuit is going to remain on the calendar until at least 2036. How lovely and exciting. Also, it became the first time since 1984 that 2 races were held in the US. Now with Las Vegas, there are 3 with rumors of a potential 4th in Chicago. The track is also infamously known for its fake marina, and I think it was a true testament to how little effort went into this track, and I think that's why we don't see particularly great races there. Now, while the Miami Grand Prix maybe isn't a fan favorite, it's going to become a staple on the calendar with how long the contract is for with Formula One. Will we see another Norris and Verstappen battle this year, or will someone else be able to bring home the victory in Miami? Let me know your thoughts on the track and your predictions down in the comments below for this weekend. and shout out to the Lights Out blog for the statistics. So thank you all for tuning in to my fast facts about the Miami Grand Prix. I look forward to seeing you all next time out.